The idea is simple, yet powerful. You get in your car, turn the key, and drive, across a nation connected by a single ribbon of asphalt. The open road stretches out before you, promising endless possibilities and the thrill of discovery. It's the ultimate road trip, a symbol of freedom and unity, woven into our national identity. For generations, Americans have dreamed of exploring the country from behind the wheel, chasing sunsets and new horizons. This dream has been alive since the first Model T rolled onto dusty roads, promising opportunity and connection for everyone, everywhere. The automobile transformed not just how we travel, but how we see ourselves, as pioneers, always moving forward. The open road is where stories begin, adventures unfold, and the vastness of America becomes real. It's where families bond, friends make memories, and individuals find themselves somewhere between here and there. But dreams often collide with reality. The road isn't always smooth, and the journey isn't always easy. Building one unbroken road across a continent is far messier than the fantasy. The vision of a seamless highway is challenged by obstacles both natural and man-made. It means blasting through mountains, spanning rivers, and fighting weather that destroys as fast as you build. Every mile is a battle against nature's extremes, blizzards, floods, and searing heat. The dream is clean. The work is hard, complicated, and expensive. Behind every smooth stretch of highway are years of planning, sweat, and staggering costs. So, why doesn't this ultimate road exist? Why can't you drive coast to coast on one single highway? The answer isn't as simple as it seems. The answer is a mix of geography, history, money, and human nature. Mountains, rivers, and deserts stand in the way, while politics and priorities shift with every generation. It's a story of grand achievements and stubborn limitations. For every engineering marvel, there's a forgotten stretch of road or a project left unfinished. The dream is still being written, mile by mile, across America's challenging landscape. Each new road is a chapter in a story that's far from over. Let's dig in and see why the dream remains, in some ways, just a dream. Let's hit the road and discover the real story behind America's endless highways. Before you pour a single drop of concrete, you face the real boss, Mother Nature herself. She's unpredictable, relentless, and never negotiates. Every road project starts with a battle against the land itself, and the land rarely gives up its secrets easily. The U.S. is a land of extremes. Towering mountains, winding rivers, endless deserts, and sprawling swamps. Each region brings its own set of obstacles, making every mile of road a unique challenge. The Appalachians, Rockies, and Sierra Nevada aren't just hills. They're massive, ancient barriers that have shaped the nation's history and continue to test modern engineering. Building through them means carving tunnels deep into rock, designing endless switchbacks, and waging constant battles with gravity, landslides, and unpredictable weather. Rivers like the mighty Mississippi and the wild Colorado demand colossal bridges, each one a marvel of human ingenuity, built to withstand floods, shifting currents, and the test of time. Every region brings its own challenges: snow and ice in the north that can freeze roads solid, hurricanes in the south that can wash them away, desert heat and flash floods in the west that can crack and erode pavement in a single season. Roads must survive the worst nature throws at them year after year: blistering sun, pounding rain, blizzards, and storms. Maintenance is a never-ending job. Every mile is a fight against the elements, where even a single storm can undo months of hard work and planning. That's why a single perfect road is so hard to build. The landscape is always shifting, always challenging, and always demanding respect. Nature always has the final say. She can reclaim roads with landslides, floods, or simply by letting the wilderness grow back. And she's not easy to negotiate with. For every plan, there's a new surprise, a new obstacle, a new lesson in humility. The dream of a perfect road meets its first real test here, where ambition collides with the raw power of the natural world. But every challenge overcome is a step forward. Let's see what comes next. The U.S. is nearly 3,000 miles wide, a scale that makes any coast-to-coast road a logistical nightmare. Every mile needs tons of materials, often hauled to remote, empty places. Huge stretches, especially in the West, are nearly empty. Beautiful, but sparsely populated. It's hard to justify billions for a road that serves only a handful of people. Swamps, deserts, and shifting sands add to the challenge. A road that works in New England won't survive the Arizona desert. Geography is both America's strength and its biggest obstacle. The dream of a single road is a constant fight against the land itself, and the land rarely gives in. Before interstates, cross-country driving was an ordeal. Muddy tracks, breakdowns, and endless detours. Early coast-to-coast routes like the Lincoln Highway were grassroots efforts, not government projects. The federal government stepped in with the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1921, creating numbered U.S. highways like Route 66. But these were still two-lane roads, slow and congested, winding through every town. Roads were built piecemeal, state by state, with no master plan. The result? A patchwork, not a single streamlined artery. This decentralized history explains why we have a web of roads, not one perfect line. The foundation was laid for a network, not a single road. And that legacy shapes our highways to this day. Let's see how the next chapter unfolded. Everything changed in 1956 when President Eisenhower launched the interstate highway system. Inspired by Germany's Autobahn, the goal was speed, safety, and national defense. The plan, a 41,000-mile network connecting major cities, funded mostly by the federal government. These were super highways, 4 lanes, medians, no stoplights, and controlled access. The project transformed America, fueling suburban growth and the trucking industry. But even this grand plan wasn't about one single road. The system is a grid. East-west routes like I-80, north-south like I-95, designed for connectivity, not a single coast-to-coast line. The dream of one road gave way to a practical web of many. The grid was the answer, not the line. And yet, even the grid has its gaps. Let's look at where the roads run out. The map isn't as complete as you think. Even with the interstate system, America's map isn't fully filled in. Vast areas, especially in the West and Alaska, remain without big highways. The grid connects cities, but if there's no city, there's often no interstate. Nevada's Great Basin, for example, is crossed by lonely, 2-lane highways, not interstates. In Alaska, many communities, including the capital, Juneau, aren't connected by road at all. The terrain is too harsh, the distance is too great, and the population too sparse. These gaps aren't failures, they're practical choices. The system delivers the most benefit to the most people. Remote areas rely on smaller highways or no roads at all. It's a hybrid solution to a complex problem. The perfect grid was never possible. What we have is the best compromise, and building more roads isn't getting any easier. Building roads is expensive, millions per mile, sometimes much more. Funding comes from gas taxes, but as cars get more efficient, that money shrinks. Local opposition is fierce. Nobody wants a highway in their backyard. Environmental rules add years and millions to every project. Studies, permits, and wildlife protections are now standard. Low population density means some projects just don't make economic sense. States must prioritize repairs in busy areas over new roads to tiny towns. The math rarely adds up for remote expansion. The result: tough choices, endless debates, and slow progress. The era of easy road building is over. Every new mile is a battle, financial, political, and environmental. The dream faces more obstacles than ever, but when roads can't reach, America finds other ways. Let's see how. When roads can't reach, America adapts. In Alaska, bush plains are lifelines, delivering mail, medicine, and people to roadless villages. Railroads move heavy goods efficiently across tough terrain. Freight trains are the backbone of the economy, and in some places, passenger trains offer scenic alternatives. Waterways, America's original highways, still move massive amounts of cargo. Ferries connect islands and remote coasts where bridges aren't practical. Sometimes a plane, train, or boat is the only answer. The lack of a road isn't failure, it's smart adaptation. America's transportation system is layered and flexible. The right tool for the job always wins. The dream of one perfect road, stretching seamlessly from coast to coast, remains just that, a dream. For generations, Americans have imagined a single, flawless highway uniting the nation, a ribbon of pavement tying together every city and small town. But reality gave us something different. a complex, ever-evolving web of connections. Instead of one road, we built thousands, each serving its own purpose, weaving together a vast and diverse country. Today, the focus is on maintaining what we have, repairing aging bridges, replacing cracked pavement, and widening choke points to keep traffic moving. Every day, crews work tirelessly to keep the system running, often behind the scenes and in all kinds of weather. It's hard, expensive, and never-ending work, but it's essential. Without it, the roads we rely on would quickly crumble, and the connections we take for granted would disappear. The future may bring new solutions, self-driving cars, advanced materials that last longer, or even high-speed rail lines that change how we travel. Technology is always pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We might even see drones delivering packages to remote areas, connecting places that roads can't easily reach, and making the network even more dynamic. America's roads tell a story of big dreams, tough realities, and relentless adaptation. From dusty trails to superhighways, each era has left its mark on the landscape. We may never have a single road from sea to sea, but what we have is even more impressive, a living testament to innovation, compromise, and the spirit of connection. As long as people are willing to build, maintain, and dream about these connections, the American road trip will live on, inspiring new generations to explore. The journey is never perfect, and the road is sometimes rough, but it's always possible. Every mile traveled is a small victory over distance and time. And that's the real American dream. Not perfection, but perseverance, progress, and the freedom to keep moving forward. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Wherever you go, keep exploring, and remember that every road has a story. The road, however it looks, goes on, inviting us to discover what's around the next bend.